times people will hit me up and say, Rob, you don't like nothing. You don't fuck with nothing. You're not happy with anything that's going on out here in these streets. And to those people, I say, good job. That means you're paying attention. Now, most of these people be a little upset that I'm not satisfied with a lot of things that may satisfy them. And they'll ask me things like, well, what's your solutions? Since you don't like any of the other solutions that are happening out here, what is your solution? And to this question, we have to deal with how one would even conceptualize a solution that makes sense to black people. Because there is one major flaw when we're talking about solutions, is that everybody leaves off pride. This has been a flaw in our movements many times because there is no unified, uniform ideology that is being pushed. We'll want things, symbolic things, not reparations, by the way, other symbolic things. We want to be accepted. The fact of the matter is, everything that we want comes in the form of white acceptance. For example, we wanted to be able to go to white schools. We wanted to be able to work with white people. We wanted to be able to live in neighborhoods around white people. All of our goals, all of our solutions involve white folk accepting us as a part of their society. To me, that is prideless. And thus, everything that they've done, every victory so-called that we've had, has been one that is inclusive and thus not really a black victory, but a victory for so-called all minorities. This is the problem with our solutions, because our solutions are all inclusive. And if you don't even require, because your self-esteem and pride is so low, you don't even require very specific forms of solutions for you and only you, then the solutions will not pan out. They won't mean anything. Just like all the would-be milestones that we've had here in this country, how we're still here, we're still in the same fight, we're still asking the same fucking questions as to what is the solution. The problem with solutions that I've seen be given, and not by some of the great orators and teachers that we've had, I'm not talking about them, I'm talking about the common folk, in which be the common black people out here. Our solutions are prideless. All of them. You want to vote for your oppressor, so you fight for the right to vote. You decide to classify yourself as civil. Even though you're black, you classify yourself as civil, so you fight for and gain civil rights, all inclusive rights. You do not require or ask for any form of real restitution in the form of reparations. You just want to be treated so-called equal. These are prideless goals, if you ask me. One of the biggest issues that we have is that we don't have any pride. So that's why my solution, my main focus, I guess I should say, I don't even know if I can call it a solution per se, but my main focus is to instill pride into black people, because I know that without this, nothing else is going to work. We're going to continue to beg for white acceptance. If you have pride, you don't beg for white acceptance. You don't care about white acceptance. You're going to hold the government accountable for the words that are coming out of their fucking mouths. The lies that they tell. You're going to call them out on that hypocrisy, and you won't say shit like, well, at least we got this, you know. We're so proud as I hear so many black people say these things and use that terminology. Well, at least it's a step in the right direction. And if you understand what you're saying that you're willing to settle for a travel or a journey, as if the journey hasn't been long enough already. You'll be here in so-called 2020 talking about some damn at least. How low is your self-esteem? How low is your pride? What solution can you really, really manifest if you are comfortable with saying at least? You expect nothing but crumbs if you say at least. In relationships, people call it settling for less. This is something that people are very, very against when it comes to relationships. But when it comes to your livelihood and your position in society, you'll settle for less every time. You'll say at least every 100 years that you at least get some type of steam build up. They at least acknowledge you in some type of way. And we play these games with the phrase at least. When this country owes you more than that. But since that's all you require, because you're prideless, because you don't have any real goal, you just want acknowledgement. This is what's caused us to be in the same position that we're always in, because they'll come out and acknowledge you every once in a while. That's all you want. Hey, I see you, black man, black woman, black child. I see you. But we're going to continue to do things like we have been. I see you, though. That's all black people ever want. Those are our solutions. It wouldn't matter if you were to start an organization, grassroots. We've seen that happen here. If you study the history of black people in this country, you can start your grassroots organization. You can get you some pretty big marches built up. But at the end of the day, everybody is appeased with small symbolic gestures, the at least shit. And because we don't put our pride first, second, and third, at least is normally enough for us. So see, for me, having solutions would start with black people having pride and putting that pride over even money. I know that's very difficult for black people to do, because we must sacrifice our pride at every level when it comes to money, even if we have money in the bank. For example, the NBA players, these prideless black men out here who were taken to, I think it was Kyrie Irving said that we should start our own league. Now, I would think that would be something that all these black men would be on board for. But guess what? Because they are prideless, because they are cowards, and because they are still wage slaves, that wouldn't be something that they're on board for. So you see, even when you want to make big moves, as far as black people are concerned, as far as our culture, as far as our race is concerned, you'll have majority of black people who don't need that. At least the NBA is going to put Black Lives Matter on the court. At least they're going to allow players to make social, have social standings on their jerseys. Well, at least they're doing that. And see, because you are and we are and at least as people, you can't get real transformative change because nobody wants to deal with the pride factor. Nobody wants to deal with that. At least we can go vote and get another form of oppression. At least it won't be Trump. So see, when I think about solutions, the issue I have is that black people don't have pride to activate any real solutions. Because we don't require any real transformative changes for us. We don't require that. We're comfortable with crumbs. We're okay with that. It doesn't bother us. Because we're prideless. Because our entire existence right now is tied into police reform. As if that's all we're dealing with out here. You have people that were saying, well, at least they're acknowledging that the police need to be reformed. At least they're defunding the police in different states and counties and things like that. That ain't shit. But when you are an at least as people, and when you're used to being given crumbs, then you'll take that. You'll take that and you will accept that. Without pride, there can be no solutions. Because with pride, you understand that for the team, you're going to make certain sacrifices. You're going to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to come out the house. You're going to have to get out of the air conditioner. It might be a little hot out here. But you'll take that. When we're talking about solutions, the reason that we've had some of the greatest black people, the greatest black teachers come out here and give all these solutions. Everything that you need, the blueprint is there. The problem is they're talking to a people who don't have any pride. That's the issue. That's what I focus on, because I understand that, hell, without pride, there can be no solutions. Without an actual goal, there can be no solutions. Because we're all scattered as to what we want to see change in this society. We don't have any codes. We have sellouts and coons out here representing the people all over the media. The white media, the cave media, will allow these people to get on there and we don't call them out. There are millions of black people that agree with these coons, and I told y'all, we looking at a 99% coon rate. That's what we're dealing with. We just want to be accepted. We just want white allies. We just want these, to me, minuscule things that we want that make us happy, that make us feel like there is progress happening. Because we just want this country to move in the right direction. When your goals are that low, when that's all you want, you can't have any real solutions. So when you come to me asking me for solutions, I'm going to say to you that no solution is going to work until black people have pride. And the solution for breaking the cycle of a prideless people is for us to raise our children with pride. Now, of course, this isn't going to reach all black people. I see people say, well, all black people aren't a monolith, which is typically coons talking about, well, they're going to be coons cooning. We cannot have solutions and with a 99% coon rate, y'all. What world are you living in? We can't have solutions like that. When you have what some would deem the smartest of us only wanting us to go vote Democrat. You can't have solutions like that. That's impossible, y'all. And at some point, we must see that that's impossible. You can't have solutions if all you want is white acceptance. If all you want is to be in your comfort zone, we're going to have to get out of our comfort zones. And the comfort zone for us is cooning. Oh my God. All we want to do is coon in peace. That's it. That's all. We want to coon in peace, come out here and say a little something whenever a racist ass white cop kills or brutalizes a black man, woman, or child. And outside of that, we just want to coon in peace. Go vote and then go to church. That's it. That's all. You can't have no solutions with people like that. You can't rebuild Black Wall Street like that. Because people won't even see a reason to hatred of Black Wall Street. They won't even see a reason for that. They don't see a reason to support black businesses. They don't see a logic in that. Because when you look at other cultures, that's a part of how they're raised. They raise their children with racial pride. I don't have an issue with that at all. Black people, we're not doing that. That's why every solution that y'all talk about, and every solution that some of the greats have talked about since before I was born, that's why they're not being acted out. Because we're proudless. Until we deal with that, solutions, I mean, you can suggest them. You can have them. Hell, we've had people write whole books about solutions and what we should do and how we should conduct ourselves. It doesn't matter. Hell, Neely Fuller wrote a book on codes and how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. It don't matter. Dr. Amos Wilson, John Henry Clark, I mean, they done wrote the books, they did the lectures. It doesn't matter because our people, by and large, are prideless. And until we get that part, situated, until that becomes what we talk about and what we try to infuse into our people, then this shit ain't gonna matter, y'all. It's just not gonna matter. Now, that's not me being negative. That's just me being realistic. As long as we falling in behind celebrities, and we'll even do the elite shit with them, right? Won't we? They'll come out here and say a little something. It can be half coon shit too. Well, at least they said something. We the most at least motherfuckers because our self-esteem is so low. So that's how people with low self-esteem talk. At least. You can get your ass whooped 5 out of the 7 days. Well, at least I don't get my ass whooped 2 days out of the week. At least, because it was 7. Well, now, after 400 years, we down to just 5. So, at least that's some progress. That's how we think. My solution is for black people to be thinking like me. You can call it arrogant. You can call it whatever you want. Watch my videos. As far as my black pride ideologies, that's how black people should be thinking. That's my solution. Think like me. Now, you may not agree with some of the other things I say about other things in life, but when it comes to blackness and what it means to be black and what it means to have black pride, we're not going to see any progress and no solution is going to work until black people are thinking like me. That's all the fuck I want to say. Y'all like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Links to follow me in the description box. Black first, second, and third. And in that moniker alone, that's the solution. We got to start with that, or nothing else is going to work. We'll continue to be at least ass niggas, prideless ass coons and sellouts. That's what we'll continue to be. Shout out Team Rob, y'all already know what the fuck it is.